there's no encouragement for them to stay here if they're just going to be taxed to oblivion. And we're close to the southern border down by Arkansas. We're about an hour and a half away, so it's not too far to drive down to Arkansas if you need to go get any medical treatment or anything like that. And then we got bigger cities like Kansas City that are right on the Kansas state line. So what is keeping the Kansas Cityans to just take their income to Kansas instead of keeping it here in Missouri? So all that will end up causing pretty much a larger domino effect, which will increase that. And I think the low numbers, which I don't really like going at the bottom, but it's about 17% more on top of what we already paid. So we paid close to about 10% on our, and so it will increase at baseline. We paid 9.7% income right now. If we put all this stuff in this new bill, and if it passes in November, if we vote on it and it passes, it will raise our income base at close to 18%. Just across the board. And it will give the wealthiest, the millionaires among us, $4,000 more dollars a year. And they'll pay, I think, a yearly income, like a 1.5% less. Like, it is astronomical. And the arguments that you'll hear from people is, what about Texas, Florida, and I think it was, Tennessee. And the easiest thing that you can tell them is Texas has oil, Florida has Disneyland, and Tennessee has Nashville.
It can affect our tourism.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it also could.
But no, it will, they have those three major things, and that's what shifts it on. Like, most of Florida's revenue is replaced with not having income tax, with charging rental fees for your Airbnbs and stuff like that, taxing Disneyland and all these other places. And Nashville is pretty heavily taxed on their tourism as well, and then Texas with their oil. Missouri, yeah, there's no protections against veterans.
So what do they do?
Yeah, but that eventually it's a charge. Do what?
Do they have health insurance or something have to pay?
Yeah, that's Representative Reed made that argument on the House floor last night, right before time ran out, about the lack of protections that this bill does not have, and they highlighted the fact that teachers will see a mass layoff across the entire state of teachers if this bill passes in November. And Pierce City, which is where I'm from, Pierce City will likely close in a few years if this bill passes, and then that burden will be split between Monette and Mount Vernon and Secaucus. And then when you think about that, like Verona, for example, Verona is just about the same size as Pierce City. Their students will also be split between them same schools, maybe excluding Secaucus, but the same schools, which will burden more of those teachers. And those schools aren't going to have the same amount of teachers that they originally had, because they're going to be losing the budget. And they'll also be losing another 18% of their state budget as well.
Well, Kansas went through the same thing, and after 2 years of destruction, chaos, they reversed it. So what Key House gonna do, wait 2 years?
No, see, that's the thing. We don't have that exit strategy. If we pass this is why this bill is so much more dangerous than what the Kansas passed. Because they were able to reverse it themselves. This is a constitutional amendment. So whenever it gets passed, if we vote on it and it passes, we're stuck with it until we can get enough signatures and everything and support to reverse it, which will take probably 3 years. That's why you hear the author of this bill, that's why you keep saying that 3-year number.
Who's the author of it? The Republican?
Yeah, he's a Republican.
What is Mitch Fox? What's his stand?
He passed it. He passed this.
I also heard from some people that said that he's dead set against public education because he was a bad student in school. His mother had to take him out of school and homeschool him, so that's why he hates public education. Just let you know that.
No, I did not know that.
I just heard that.
But no, Mitch Boggs' legislative score for public education is 25%. He votes against public education
But
3
what's
four
his
to 0.
stance on all this stuff that you're talking about?
Well, the no income tax, he supports it, he passed it, he was a yes vote on that. And the property tax freeze, he was also a yes vote on that as well.
Does he do